so much for joining me for this video. I would definitely appreciate it. Thank you for those who have commented. I really appreciate you, you know, your advice and your opinions. I appreciate it. All that you do. I thank you for those who thumbs up, those who actually watch the videos. I appreciate it all. And you know, I'm still really new to this and I'm kind of learning. And thank you for joining the ride with me. I appreciate it. So today I wanted to kind of like go backtrack and do for beginners. So I think I'm going to title this Makeup for Dummies. And the title of this one is The Foundation, all about foundation. I want to kind of go through a couple foundations and kind of like let you know my experiences with these and get you some kind of like tips and tricks and things like that with foundations. So when you're shopping for foundations, before you buy, you need to ask yourself two questions. What is your skin type? And the second question is, what coverage do you need? You know, before you go to the counter, because that's what they're going to ask you, you need to know your skin type, because certain items, you know, certain foundations have a different effect. And it's just, you know, if you know all the tips and tricks, you can work with it pretty much anything. But for beginners, you really kind of want to target things that are going to fit your needs specifically, because you're new to it. You don't know all the tips and tricks to kind of work it out and make it work for you. And I mean, you really don't want to have to, unless, you know, somebody giving you something for free and you're just going to use it. But other than that, you know, if you're paying your money for something, you want it to be catered to you. You want it to be perfect for you. So if your skin types are going to be oily skin, you're going to have dry, sensitive, and combination. Now, combination can be oily dry. It can be oily normal. Did I mention normal already? Yeah, normal. It can be oily sensitive, dry sensitive. It can be a lot of things. But most common of combination is going to be like oily T-zones and either dry or normal. Now, for me personally, so I have oily T-zone, and it just depends on whether it's winter, spring, or summer, whatever. So the cooler seasons, this is dry. Everything else is dry. So oily here, and it's just like a specific T, really. Oily and then dry everywhere else. But in the summer, so spring and summer, it is like this oiliness spreads like all over and down my nose and kind of like right in here. And then it's normal everywhere else. So what I've learned is I have to either find a product that is going to be somewhere in between for those needs, or I either have to treat my face differently for the other zones and use a certain product. So what I want to do is, and if you want some more details about this, I have a beginner's video. I think it was one of the first ones that I had. Yeah, I think it's like either the first or second video that I uploaded. And it is, I'll try to put a link, but it'll give you a little bit more information about that. I got a lot to talk to you about these products, so I don't want to get caught up rambling. So I'm just going to move forward. I'm going to start with some of the inexpensive ones first, and then kind of go from there. The L'Oreal True Match is something I tried. I saw a couple videos and I was like, you know, let me try this product. So I tried the L'Oreal True Match Paris. The color that I picked up was the W8 Cream Cafe. And the coverage is really good. You know, when I buy products, they're going to either be medium to full, or they're going to be on the full spectrum. You know, I have scarring. So, you know, not only do I have an oily combination skin, but I also have, you know, I'm ethnic, so I've got pigmentation, and I have acne scars. So, you know, when I apply foundation, I want it to do all of the work. I do not want to go in and put all these correctors, you know, on my face to cover all these spots. First of all, I got too many spots for that. And second of all, I do my makeup every day before I leave work, and I do not have time for all of that. So when I buy foundation, especially if it's going to be $40-something or close to, it better do pretty much all the doggone work. And that's just me. That's, you know, and I would recommend any of you for the same. When you go buy a foundation, it needs to do all the work. There are certain circumstances where I've seen certain skin types with a lot of scarring where it's just, there's no way that you would be able to use a foundation without, and getting good results without correcting the skin first. But you know, it's not very often. So anyway, the L'Oreal True Match Super Blendable Makeup. This one has the broad spectrum SPF 17, and this is a warm color. Now for this one, I've only worn it, I want to say twice. I've used it twice. You know, I love the coverage and, you know, the way it went on. I mean, you know, it was super, it was very fluid. And it went on well, but it was kind of like an oily effect. And what else was wrong with this for me? Oh, the color, the match. Now, one thing I do not like about getting stuff from drugstores is, number one, I don't like to open them, and I don't like to buy anything that doesn't have a seal on it. So a lot of the stuff is open because how else are you going to really match it? You just don't know. And if it oxidizes, which means, you know, as it dries, it's a shade or two darker than what you thought it was in the store, isn't in the store, and then you have to take it back, and it's just, I'm out with all that. And some of the prices is just, I don't know. But if you can find your match, I would definitely recommend, if you can find your match and you're on a budget, I would definitely recommend the L'Oreal True Match. I mean, these drugstore products have come up. A lot of them are like really, really good. But this is definitely, I just hate the experience of having to go in there and just swatch. And then picking up a product that somebody else has swatched. That means they probably stuck their finger in there. And then that's just germs. And me personally, I'm not about that life. You know, I just don't know. But this is a good product. I just haven't tried it enough to really be like, oh my goodness, it's great. However, I have Black Opal. Now, if you're looking for an inexpensive product, I must say, Black Opal, I am like, woo woo, loving you. This is, I picked up the Black Opal Truly Topaz Cream Stick Foundation. It has the broad spectrum SPF 15. So, if I can find a foundation that has SPF in it and it's going to do what I need it to do, I'm going to get that because it's one less step. You know, if you have pigmentation, which means, you know, a lot of pigmentation. I mean, everybody has pigmentation, but if you have a lot of pigmentation, which is going to be the ethnic, like African American, Hispanic women have a lot of pigmentation. So if they scar, you know, I have like an acne scar and they pick it, there's going to leave like scarring, darker scarring. Instead of like a pinkish, you're going to get like a darker color. And, you know, you want to make sure that anyone who has scarring, that as you're trying to fix it, that you are protecting it. You don't want it to get darker as you're trying to lighten it with certain products out in the sun. You just don't want to do that. So you want to make sure that you are using something that is going to protect you from the sun as you treat it and lighten it. But if you can find something with SPF in it, I definitely recommend getting it. Okay, so this is the cream stick, and this is it. Now the coverage for this is, you know, again, this is going to be a like full coverage, like a medium to full coverage. I would say a full coverage. And in order to, if you have something that's cream or like a cream stick, I would definitely recommend using your Fix Plus or some sort of setting spray and allowing it, you know, as you know, put it around your face, and before you go in with your brush, spray it. and it just spreads the product. It distributes it so smoothly so that it's not caked up. So if you don't want a cake face, just make sure you do that, and it just spreads and goes on so smoothly. So that's just like a tip. And as you begin to use the products more, you will kind of like figure out what works well for you. But that's something that I've noticed that works well with the Cream 6 or whatever. But anyway, this is the Black Opal. I actually purchased it online, but you can pick up Black Opal in Walmart. And let me tell you, a couple of I have this in, for Black Opal. I also have some of the Black Opal Total Coverage Spot and Scar Erasers. And, you know, I used a couple of these to actually do contouring. Whew, let me tell you. I mean, I even used this as a foundation before. This they're not lying. Total Coverage Spot and Scar Eraser. You can cover. I've covered a tattoo with this. This stuff is something serious. If you have scars, like deep scarring, and dark spots, you will not go wrong with these bad boys, and it's inexpensive. I don't know why more people are not raving about Black Opal, but Black Opal's got it right. And you can buy I think it's $35, and you get free shipping, and then you can get a lot of times they have some samples that you can get. So if you're not sure quite what the colors are, then you can kind of get a spectrum of things as the samples. And you know, I've used a couple of the samples that were like too light as my highlights, you know, and contouring. But this right here, honey, those who need full coverage. And basically, you know, it's not oily. So, you know, the coverage for me personally, I feel that it's like on the matte side of coverage. Now, the Total Coverage Scar, this one is in hazelnut. Now, the finish for this is going to be a bit more oily. But, I mean, that's nothing that a good setting powder won't cover. And that's, I don't know if you guys can see that. But it's right there. You see that little bit of shine right here? That's, yeah, you would definitely need like a setting powder if you have like really oily skin. Now, if you have dry skin, then this is perfect because that's going to give you a little bit of that dewy finish and it's going to look really hot on you. But this is the Black Opal Total Coverage and Spot and Scar Eraser. Love it. Okay. I'm trying to see what's the next inexpensive product. Okay. The MAC Studio Fix Fluid SPF has SPF 15. So this is the NC45. Now this is going to be coverage for this one is medium to full. And I want to say, yeah, medium to full. And this is it right here, the NC45. And, you know, this one is kind of similar to the Black Opal. It's going to be, it's a little oily. So, you know, for those who have dry skin, I would definitely recommend that. Or normal skin, I would definitely recommend that. If you have oily skin, you can rock it. However, you're going to need to make sure you have a mattifying primer for those oily zones, and you use setting powder because when you first put it on, you're already going to have a dewy look. So, you know, about an hour or two, you're going to be shining. Now, the next one is going to be the Kat Von D Lock It Tattoo Foundation. This is 24-hour wear. And it's basically, this is full coverage. This is absolutely full coverage. This is what I have on. And it reminds me of the Becca Cream Coverage. What is it, Becca? Becca Ultimate Coverage Complexion Cream. This reminds me of this. This is definitely full coverage. And I would definitely recommend this. And I want to say, yeah, the finish is more like is definitely good for those who have oily skin, and it's not like dry. Well, you're gonna have a matte look when you get finished. And for those who have dry skin and if you still want to purchase a product, make sure you have a a dewy primer or something to really moisturize your face, and so you can still get like, you know, the natural look. But this is, I absolutely love it, and I'm mad I didn't know about it earlier. But this is so hot. I mean, I did not do any kind of concealing as far as before I put the foundation on. I didn't have to go over and cover up a couple spots. I use absolutely one pump for my entire face. This right here is amazing. And this is Deep 66. And again, this is the Kat Von D Lock It Tattoo Foundation. And I purchased this from Sephora. It's good. I mean, I love it. On a scale of 1 to 5, this is hands down a solid 5. I'm in love with it, and I will definitely be using this more and more and more. I'm going to check it in a couple hours and see, you know, how it transpires, but so far I'm in love with this. I mean, the coverage is great and it works. This is going to be something that I'm going to use for the summertime because, you know, of my oiliness in the summer. You know, I'm going to have to probably use something, you know, probably have to go back to the Studio Fix, you know, in the winter time, because, you know, that's going to give me a little bit more moisture for my dry areas. But this right here, hands down, if you have oily skin or you really, really, really need full coverage, $34, worth every penny. Alright, the next one is going to be, I guess if we're going to go as far as cost, then this is going to be the Urban Decay. This is the Urban Decay Weightless Ultra Definition Liquid Makeup. And it's the Urban Decay Naked Skin. I don't like this. This is like a clear plastic cylinder, and it looks metallic, but this is plastic, you know, and I love the fact that it already has a pump. You know, this of course had your pump already. Now the MAC did not. No, the MAC did not have a pump. I had to buy it. I was trying to remember. Yeah. I had to buy the pump. So it's $34. When you look at it that way, as far as cost, it was $34 or either $38. One of the two. But this came with the pump, so. Okay, this right here, I actually had a video that I did the other day. Oh my goodness. I mean, love this. I mean, like, I can't really say how the Kat Von D will do because I just put it on and already I'm in love. But this Urban Decay Weightless Ultra Definition Makeup, I have oily skin, oily T-zone, and I went all day. I did not pat my face, not once. Didn't have to pat it. I came home, I was looking in the mirror, you know, and this is 12 hours, you know, like a solid. I mean, I had been gone all day. I kid you not. When I sat down at my vanity, you know, I was getting ready to do another video, and I look, you know, generally I have to, you know, if I'm having, you know, my makeup from all day, I'll have to, you know, use some powders or whatever to, you know, do some touch-ups and get rid of the oil. Absolutely not. Absolutely love this. Will I be faithful and buy more of this? Heck yeah. This was $38 and oh my goodness, I love it. I mean, it is amazing. It's so liquidy. It's very liquid. It's not like liquid / cream. It's very liquid, and it went on. At first I was a little worried because, you know, the lady was like, oh, it's kind of like medium to full, you know, it's medium but buildable, and I didn't have to build it. I did not. And, you know, I have scarring and I did not have to build it. So for me, it was really on the, you know, for those who have really dark spots, you know, you may have to do, you know, to go throughs, but it's really, because it's so liquidy, you're not using a whole lot of product for that. And I mean, I just think that's what, 1 or 2 pumps. I only had to use 1. It was, I only used one pump, but it was absolutely amazing. I can't rave enough about this. I'm really excited about this product. Thank you, Urban Decay, for putting it out there, because this is where it's at. Love, love, love it. Okay, now moving on. I want to say around the dollar amount. Yeah, let's go to the Nars Sheer Matte. Now, the Nars Sheer Matte is pretty much after I use I started with doing makeup with the MAC Studio Tech Compact. That's what I started with. And, you know, summer times were terrible because I sweat a lot and I'm already oily. And when you pat your face, well, when I pat my face, all my makeup was just like pretty much on it, on, you know, the paper towel or whatever. And it was just like, you know, you could see some of the, you know, acne scars I was trying to cover after, you know, I blotted my face. It was crazy. I hated that. It's just that for me, I cannot go back to that. You know, it worked well. The coverage was really, really awesome for that compact, but summertimes, I don't think I would ever use that again. But this is what I went to next, the Nars. And I went to the Nars because it's matte. I had sheer glow at first because I wasn't really paying attention when I picked it up. And then I liked the coverage or whatever, so I didn't want to take it back. And I ended up using both for a while. You know, I would use the glow, you know, my normal areas, or the dry spots was perfect in the winter. And then I would use the mattes for the oily areas. But these are really good products. These are $44. And the reason why I have two is because, you know, I got a really, really deep tan last summer. So you know, the Cadiz wasn't quite, it just didn't look right. Just having this, you know, it was like looking like Casper the Ghost. So I had to use a darker one. And so far, you know, I've been loving the combination. I mix them, you know, just to match the rest of my body. It depends on how long I've been out in the sun. But the coverage for those are going to be, that's like on the full side. I want to say it's not full, but it is on the full side. And it definitely is buildable. You just have to find like the right fit for you. But I would definitely recommend that if you can still get it. You know, they are doing away with the sheer matte and the sheer glow and just going with the all day luminous. But that is definitely like a really good product for those who want something light, especially in the summertime and you have oily skin.